is the link for me? I'm live. It's so wonderful to see you out here. Okay. Just wonderful to see you out here. Okay. Just wonderful to see you out here. Okay. I don't see what I need to see. The live is live, but I don't have a stream thing. Grab one more. Okay, yes, I can. And we're in Asana. That's where you want it, right? Okay, here we go. All right, so you guys get to see the speaker doing crazy stuff, which happens when you're on live and you have no control over what's going on. So we're just gonna do this thing. All right, so here we are. I apologize for the technical difficulty. Let me get off the phone. That just shows you how you have to rock and roll with the technology when you don't have it go your way. So we have to woosah and be authentic. The authentic me would say, hey, I messed up and now I'm going to speak with power. Okay, very good. So you're here today because you want to talk about presenting with power. And I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for showing up. If you hang out to the end, I've got some really cool surprises for you and some nice gifts. So with that being said, let us begin again. All right. 5 keys to presenting with power. I want you to know that anyone can do this. And the first key I want to talk to you about is being authentic. Does this sound like you? You have great ideas, but when asked, what do you think? You clam up. Or how about this? You have a presentation. You've prepared strategically. You have all of your slides and you get up to present and your mind goes totally blank. Or what happened to me today? You get up to present and the technology goes to the left. And you panic and freeze. You have to shake that off. If that's you, it happens to all of us. It happens to all of us. But the first thing you got to do is be authentic. So we had some issues with the technology even today. I had to shake it off and say, okay, we're going in. Because there are people out there who need to hear this information. So again, the first key to presenting with power is being authentic. There's only one you, and you're the only you can be. No one else on the planet can be you. So why are we walking around with these masks? Why are we hiding behind other people's gifts? We have to be authentic. Be the you were created to be. You have gifts. You have talents, and people are waiting for you. They can't go to their next level until you show up in your authentic self. And part of that has to do with your mindset. If your mind is not set for success, you will never achieve success. So what do I mean by mindset? As part of being your authentic self, you must recognize that your mind does whatever it wants to do unless you control it. How do I know? Scientists have discovered that we think a total of 10,000 to 70,000 thoughts per day. Let me say it again. 10,000 to 70,000 thoughts per day. And of those 10,000 to 70,000 thoughts per day, 80% of those thoughts are negative. you're thinking negatively 80% of the time and positively 20% of the time, that means your mind is wandering. How many of you have sat down at your desk or been working on a task and you're focused, and all of a sudden you catch yourself going, why was I thinking about that? Because your mind has a mind of its own. And unless you are cognizant and intentional about what you're thinking, your mind will tell you all kinds of things that are not true. So you have to set your mind. Now, of the 10,000 to 70,000 thoughts you think, we've just discovered that 80% of them are negative. But guess what else? Not that it's not enough that 80% of our thoughts are negative. They are repetitive 90% of the time. So now you're thinking negative thoughts. They're occurring at the rate of 10,000 to 70,000 thoughts per day at 80%. And now 90% of those thoughts are repeating themselves. Again, if you don't get control of your mind and get your mind set, you will not be able to present with power. Key number 2, aim higher. What do I mean by that? Aim higher, literally and figuratively. Literally, one of the keys to present with power is looking above the head. If you get nervous, looking above the heads of the people you are presenting to. Find a spot that is appealing to you and look at that. Find an individual that has a happier demeanor or a pleasant and welcoming smile and look at that person or look above that person's head. Here's one of the ways that I've learned to aim higher. I show up early to events. Now, we're in the COVID-19 environment. This global pandemic is going on as I tape this session, but we're not going to always be here. At some point, this too shall pass. And when it does, and you're standing before people again, I want you to have these tools. I want you to have these keys. So aim higher, the second point. When you are able to go into an environment to train, to teach, to talk, to coach, show up early. Once I showed up early to an event and the hostess was still setting up. They needed some help at the registration table. So what I did was just sat down and started registering the guests coming in. Many of the people did not realize that I, in fact, was the speaker. And so I started to ask them questions about what their intention was, who invited them, and kind of made a camaraderie with some of the people. Now, some of the people did recognize that I was the speaker and held conversations. And I listened intently to what they were saying and what they were expecting and used that in my speech, which gave me more confidence when I stood up. So aim higher. The other part of aiming higher is figuratively. You've got to see inside of you that you are destined for whatever it is you want to do. You've got to know. You've got to say, you've got to believe that you are destined to be a speaker, a trainer, a coach, or present with power. I can present with power. That has to be you. You have to do that in order to be able to present with power. Belief is the other part of aiming higher. Number 3, you've already heard that you need to be authentic and you need to aim higher. But my key number 3 is how to present the speak, coach, train way. It's my secret weapon. Remember, I just told you a story about sitting at the registration table and listening to the participants talk about what they wanted to learn and who they thought was coming. Well, my dynamic listening and dynamic speaking top secret weapon is to not just listen, but use the anatomy way of listening. What do I mean? We were given 2 ears and 1 mouth. In the anatomy way, we listen twice as much as we speak. So while we're listening to people around us in the venue, or people at our meeting, or people we are coaching, we're taking copious notes to then take that same information and research and give that back to them. Maybe you don't have time to research. Why not? We all have one of these. And it doesn't take long if you listen to what a person is saying to figure out what they really, really want. So again, using the secret weapon of dynamic listening and dynamic speaking, you listen twice as much as you speak, and you key in and hone in on those things that the person you're talking to and listening is telling you, so that you can use those points, those tips, those techniques to help that person have confidence in what you're doing and saying. So now that you've heard how to be authentic, aim higher, and use my secret weapon, the dynamic listening and speaking technique, number 4 is take control. What do I mean by take control? We were taught as children that we shouldn't daydream. Well, I'm giving you permission to do just that. What is the thing that you want more than anything? What is the thing that you are able and capable of doing that you seem to think is nothing at all? What is the thing that is your gift? Spend time daydreaming about the thing you love to do. And then, by golly, go out and do it. I know Nike has coined that phrase that says, just do it. But you have to believe that you can do it and then just do it. I train with an organization whose name will remain nameless. I will tell you this, their slogan and logo is, what's in your wallet? And when I train with them, there is a young lady who co-trains with me. We'll call her name Robin. When I started training with this organization, Robin was a writer and still is a writer, but she wasn't so much a presenter. So that's why they called me in to help with the presentation. As I coached Robin on how to present, what things to do, things like don't chew gum when you're presenting, things like have a bottle of water when you're presenting, things like show up early, get to know the people who are coming to the presentation, and so much more. She began to stand up with ease. One of the other things I taught her was to relate to your audience with stories. So after about 3 months working together with Robin, she was so comfortable standing in front of an audience because she had taken on the suggestions, the tips, and techniques of a professional presenter that when she stood to speak, one of the vice presidents of the organization gave her the utmost kudos, and I hope a raise at that. But that's just to tell you that you have to take control. I know you know the universal laws of gravity. What goes up must come down. There's also another universal law. There are many, but the universal law I want to talk to you about is the law of attraction. Now, I know there's been a lot of hype about the law of attraction, but whether you believe it or not, it's still a universal law. Just like whether you believe what goes up comes down, doesn't matter. That is a law, and that's what happens. When you take control, you have an attraction to you. Your energy exudes that you are fun and you are vibrant and you are approachable. More of that comes to you so that you can take more and more control of your life, more and more control of your speech, more and more control of your daydream of being whatever it is you decide you want to be. So now that you know 4 of the 5 keys, key number 1 is to be authentic. Key number 2 is to aim higher. Key number 3 is to use the Speak, Coach, Train dynamic hearing, listening, and speaking. Number 4 is to take control. And number 5 is to get a mentor. A mentor is someone who is going to be your greatest cheerleader. All of the great people of the world have at one time or another employed a mentor, a coach, someone who can help them achieve their greatest self, someone who has an objective view but helps you think outside the box, someone who, or some ones who gives you personal attention and accountability. In order for you to get the 5 keys, combine them together and create the workspace of your dream, the life of your dream, the speech of your dream, whatever it is you're trying to do, the first thing you have to do is be able to present. You have to be able to present your ideas. You have to be able to present your thoughts. You have to be able to present clearly and succinctly. And in order to do all of that, it's very possible. I suggest you get a mentor. Every single time I've gone to a new level, I have gotten myself a coach. And now I'm saying to you, are you ready? Are you ready to take your life to the next level? Are you tired of being stuck where you are because you're afraid to stand up, stand out? Are you tired of being puzzled about what it takes to be a presenter or a speaker? Then the time is now for you to get a coach. At this point, I want to open it up for questions. Do you have any questions? Type in the chat and let me know that you're out there and you want to ask me questions. Because we've already talked about being authentic. Stop faking it till you make it. Aim higher. Speak, coach, train. The Speak, Coach, Train secret weapon. Taking control of your daydreams, taking control of your mentoring, and being the best speaker presenter you could possibly be. If you are interested in what we just went over and you are excited about what we just talked about, I have some speaker success kits. In the speaker success kit, there is a mindset success survey, mindset exercise worksheet, confidence creator, the Represent Your Brand workbook, intriguing introductions. Guess what? It's not your bio. The one sheet that wows. Every professional that I know has a slick sheet, a one sheet that shows what you have to offer, as well as provide testimonials and your particular information about yourself. And then the referrals and testimonials template, where you, as you're creating your brand, can use to get testimonials and referrals. For a mere $47, that package is available to you. But wait, in addition to that, you get another Premier Success Kit. If you're interested in all of those things, you get that kit in addition to the intriguing introduction worksheet, the one sheet that wows, the referrals and testimonials template. You also get 30 days of affirmations to help you build that self-confidence, to keep you on your toes and speaking positive thoughts into your life every day instead of those 80% of negative thoughts. You get 5 ways to spice up your content. And when you're blogging, you need to know how to spice up your blog content. You get 10 tips that nobody tells you about speaking because they're afraid to say them out loud. And the extra bonus is 30 minutes of coaching, a $250 value with yours truly, Barbara Smith. That package is a mere $97. So if you're interested in presenting with power, if you're interested in aiming higher, being authentic, having the Speak, Coach, Train secret weapon under your belt, taking control of your life, and having a mentor, because mentors matter, then click the link in the post and get your package today. Again, there is the Speaker Success Coach Kit and the Premium Speaker Success Coach Kit that has all of the items in the Success Coach Kit with extra bonuses. I want to thank you so much for being here today, and I want to thank you for sharing time and space with me. I'm Barbara H. Smith, your masterful presenter, and I look forward to seeing you again on the next webinar.